4 tattoos in one sitting. I think I was 17. They're on my kneecaps. It's a heart smoking a cigarette. It's a skull that says deviate, and fuckery for Amy Winehouse because I love the way she says it, and degenerate just because, you know, fucking I'm a degenerate. Well, speaking of Amy, I have Amy Winehouse kind of dedicated to her. My ex-girlfriend, we were dating for like 5 years, and we would kind of listen to it together. It would just be our soundtrack. And then once we broke up, I went through kind of a little deep hole, and she kind of brought me up and, you know, got me reminiscing and really feeling good and feeling that moment again. You know, so it really helped me out through the tough times. The back piece took about like 30 hours. If I were to put a meaning on it, it's just kind of like a fuck you to, you know, Catholicism. And then the chest piece took about 6, and the sternum was just god awful, like just fucking hell. If I were to write it down, the pain is just like, it's unbearable. And I sit pretty good, like I sleep, we smoke a fat joint and I sleep the first 2 hours, but as soon as you got down there, I just like, it just feels into your entire body, you know. Okay, obviously you can see, like, I got into a motorcycle accident recently, and it says Paradise. Yeah, some dude cut me off like Friday 13th, July 13th, and just like busted my whole hand on the side of his car. Well, my mom was like, no snakes, and just kind of a fuck you, I got snakes on my neck. You know, we were more homies than anything. She didn't raise me at all, so it's just kind of that relationship. My dad's okay with it, but I just feel bad because when he introduces me to his friends or whatever, you know, he kind of looks a little disappointed, you know, but other than that, he's pretty cool. My father tattoo is probably my all-time, just because he's, you know, he raised me and I love that guy.
The most recent tattoo is the one on my finger. It's my wedding ring and like the gay triangle. So my wife and I have like a matching triangle but different rings. The one that I have on my forearm that says Boomer is my dog. And I wanted something to memorialize him but not be like his face or whatever. And I have a thing for like a dark-haired lady. The Owl at Home tattoo, which is like a book by Arnold Lobel. It was my favorite book as a kid. It's the book I give everyone that I know that has a kid. I feel like I had a goal of doing like a baker's dozen cupcakes. So like the cupcakes are all very important. They have like little times that they were done. But I think I'm like 5 shy from a baker's dozen. When I came out to my parents as a trans person, I was sort of very afraid of losing them, and so Nancy's parents were like ready to take me in as their child, but Nancy's dad was like, listen, you know, gender is whatever, like be who you are, I'll love you like no matter what, and like I'll be your dad should your parents, you know, not talk to you anymore. So I have like a very like deep love for him, and this was his favorite song, and at the time that he died it was my favorite song, so I got it like around his birthday. And so it's super, super important to me.
Oh yeah, as far as like animals and bugs and shit goes, like, I don't know, they're just like creepy, and I'm not really like that afraid of that stuff. Like I always thought like, I mean like, 'cause it's like bad to be a rat, right? But like, and like fuck rats and stuff, but like, I don't know, like kind of misunderstood. They're like good pets, nice animals, fucking chill. They're like mad spazzy and shit, but I'm like that too, so I don't know. It's supposed to be like an all rats die thing with the chest. Like if you're a rat, you get tangled up in your own shit and you die. It's like a prison thing, but you know. As far as the bugs and stuff, like so I like got that from my mom, she's a Scorpio. And then the spider, that was just like some wacky shit. Like we went and me and my friend Dean like had this old drawing of this spider, but then like it was like kind of really boring and like super black, so we just like took a highlighter to it and just like literal like different highlighter colors and like tried to find ink that like matched it, and then fucking ended up being like a weird fucking color tattoo, and then like a pretty butterfly because butterflies are cute. It's kind of like a on the fly decision. I feel like the face stuff is always like on the fly. Like it's like, well, I guess I'm gonna do this. I've already like passed the point of no return, so now I can kind of get what I want. I think I always remember the part where I decide that I want to get it. It's more like the act of getting it that I don't remember. And then I'll go out or something and look at myself in the mirror and be like, holy shit, like I have this thing on my face now. Like the first time I did these two on my face, like I didn't really remember it. And then like was in like the subway and fucking like looked at myself in like the window or some shit. And I was like, what the fuck? Like that was so stupid. And then the sword on the side of my head too. I was so fucking drunk. It's just like fucking wrecked. All the leg stuff is basically just practice. For most people who tattoo, I guess, like I feel like your leg is somewhere like nobody's gonna fucking see, nobody cares, and like a bunch of tattoo artists know that like, and then other people know that like, it's just fucking, it's meant for garbage. I think like, most of these are just like drunk experiments, I don't know, learning how to tattoo. But I think that makes it more special, for sure.
I'm really not that picky. Like I said, a lot of my tattoos don't have meaning. It's just like I see someone's art, I'm like, I really like that, it's beautiful. But when it comes to my own art, like I was saying before, I kind of just like draw like how I'm feeling emotionally. So my butterfly crying face lady, I got that a few years ago. I had a friend who was getting tattooed by a guy, also a person of color, which I was really into. So I was like, why didn't anybody tell me about this guy doing these tattoos in Indiana? And I hit him up. I was like, I really like your tattoos. Let me get a tattoo. He was down. I kept changing my tattoo idea and I felt really bad. And then I saw that tattoo on his page on Instagram and I was like, okay, I want this tattoo. Like, I promise I won't change. Is it cool? And he said yes. And he told me, like, if you get that tattoo, like, I might fall in love with you. Mind you, like, I don't know this man. Like, he doesn't know me. And I was just like, okay, like, whatever, cool, I'm gonna get the tattoo. We set it up, I go get the tattoo, and then we dated for like 2 years. My last tattoo that somebody else did is this lady on my arm. I feel like it's so rare that you see people of color drawn in traditional style, or in tattooing in general. That one is done by me. I hand poked it on myself. Like, my flash usually reflects like how I'm feeling. So yeah, I just like took some me time, tattooed it on myself. I feel like tattooing yourself is like the most like therapeutic, great like personal time you can have. Like, I always feel better after. Like, I always do it at a time where I'm like upset, or like if I'm having a bad day, or if I'm stressed out, and like afterwards I'm like, okay, like I feel a little better now.
Certain things happen in life and I'm just like, oh, I don't know where that's gonna go, but that's gonna go on my body because that makes me feel good. Okay, so the anarchy symbol is in red because I wanted to remind myself that I'm always resisting, societal standards. So anarchy for me is like, there's beauty in chaos. Pain is a big part of beauty. I purposely put myself through pain so I can feel beautiful. I have Sir written on my left calf, and Sir, it doubles as my name and my title. Well, actually triples, and also my pronoun. Preston on the back of my neck is for my grandfather. His name is Preston, and when I named myself, I gave it to myself as my middle name. 09, 17, 15, that is right here on my chest. That is my top surgery date. So 3 years ago, I had top surgery because I'm a trans-masculine individual, and it was one of the most beautiful days of my life. It was really a powerful moment for me, and I wanted to denote that because I did cover up my top surgery scars with tattoos, but I didn't want to erase the fact that this rebirth happened, because my thing is I just want to be tatted. Like, I love tattoos, right? So covering my scars, people may not see them, but you'll see the date, and then they'll ask about the date. I no longer think that I need to say that I'm a man, I am black, I am tall, I am tatted, I have long hair. Like, these are all things, or I'm trans, right? Like, these are all things that people need in order to understand who I am.
I guess it's just kind of like, I don't take it too seriously. Like, I just put one on my neck. Like, I don't really care. Like, it's just, I like it a lot, and I love like art and the flowers. Like, my mom and all my mom's friends really like, because it's kind of like beautiful, subtle. They're like, oh. I guess the other ones are a little more, I don't know, a little more intense or something. I got like the little cherries on my leg. I have like I did a stick and poke cherry on my leg, and I totally messed it up. It was just like, it just looks like little dots like exploded or something. It was just not cute. So I went and got that redone, and then I went back and I was like, I want to get like this mouth. and I had no idea he was gonna be so good. Honestly, I'm so lucky that it was as good as it was. Yeah, it's my ex-boyfriend's mouth, and like I still love him. We talk all the time. It's like I have like this one kind of also going in that's supposed to be kind of like jewelry or like a chain kind of, which is also cool. That tattoos, it can be jewelry too. Like I really like that idea too. It's just beautiful. But yeah, definitely I think the angel one gets the most questions. Yeah. And I was just in Florida with my grandma, and she was like, you know, those are gonna get so saggy. And I was like, yeah, I know, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I have a lot, so it's kind of gonna be like a saggy look. Like, I'm into it. They're gonna look really cool. They're gonna like mush out and like change. We're all gonna like get old, and it's gonna fade and sag, and I'm gonna have a baby, and this is gonna stretch, and it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna be like pregnant with this tattoo.
So I got the owl in Patterson or West Patterson. There's this guy Jeff, he did it, and I was like 15. My mom said I could get a tattoo. I gave her the money for it, and then came out with like the outline of it, and she was like, holy fucking shit, that's really big. I was like, yeah, and then I got it. I don't know, I gambled a little bit like a couple years ago. I liked doing that a lot. I made like a bunch of money at Sugar House. It was chill. So I got some cards. This little fish is smoking weed. That's like the only one that has to do with weed, I think. I got this butterfly for my mom. She likes butterflies. So these two Cupies, one's like frowning, one's happy. So like one's happy, one's sad. Like the Morrissey song, like not happy, not sad. Me and my friend were really drunk in South Philly, and this girl had a tattoo gun, and my friend can like draw a flash really well. So he's gonna do this one. And then I looked at it afterwards, like it's really bad. So like a few days later, I like came up here and went to my other friend to get it covered, and he was like, nah, like, dude, that's really bad. Like, we need to do something about that. Like, he was really bummed, and he's like, we got to do like the full kit. And I was like, what? Nah, like, he's like, no, we got to do the full kit. I was pissed, and he like drew this big ass fucking panther on me, and I'm like all my friends are there, like, cause it was my friend's house, and we would just sit there and smoke, and he tattoos you, and like, they're just looking at me like, shit, dude, like, that's gonna suck. And I'm like, yeah. So like, I got kind of drunk, we smoked, and he started tattooing me, and like, I'm screaming, like, it's terrible. And like, he got up here, I thought he was like choking me. Later that night, I got in a car accident with a rental and completely totaled it into a garbage truck in Staten Island. It cut me off, and I just crashed into the back of it. Completely totaled it, just broke my finger, and I haven't gotten anything added onto this since, so. No one wants to work on it. Every time I come home with a tattoo, my mom's like, another one? I'm like, yeah, like, what do you think, I'm just gonna have like 2 tattoos? Like, that's stupid.
My name is Keegan O'Brien. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I moved to Brooklyn a couple years ago to start teaching. I mean, ever since I was like a teenager and getting into the hardcore scene, just like, I want to get my shit covered. I was 18 years old when I got my first tattoo. I got a Japanese piece on my right thigh. I walked into the shop and just connected with this dude who ended up becoming my tattoo artist. He was like an older punk hardcore dude. He was also gay and sober. So we just had a bunch of connections. It was a really cool vibe. When I was like 25, 26, I got a straight edge tattoo here on the back of my arm, right there. I got an X, and I've been straight edge since I was like 14 years old, so going on 15 years at this point. Yeah, I am definitely the teacher with the tats, and the kids do not shut up about it. They're always asking, they're like, oh, that's so sick, what is that, where'd you get it? No, it's great. It's a great way to like build a connection with the kids. Sometimes I've got to tell them to shut up and do their work. I kind of bribe them with it, like if you finish the worksheet, then we can talk about my tattoos. My kids ask me all the time at school about this eye tattoo I've got here on my wrist and this wolf. The little kids are like scream and yell about it. They're like so stoked on it.